episode 150. And welcome into the Benches Clear podcast, where we cover the best rivalry in all of sports. I am Jesse Gutierrez, and I represent the side of the San Francisco Giants, who the season's over, so who cares about them, really?
And I'm Dave, who's representing the Dodgers side, who have been playing really well, and go for a series win against Baltimore today.
Must be freaking nice. Series wins. I don't know about those. Hope to be part of one day, but you know,
it's been so long. It's been 84 years.
Exactly. Gosh, I don't think we're really going to talk much around the league. We might be zooming past the Giants part of the pod too, because what more can you say? I don't know. Maybe I'll be depressed guy. Who knows? Maybe I'll figure it out in that time. But I think we need to talk. I don't know, a little Ohtani bobblehead situation. Ohtani gate.
Ohtani gate. All right, let's talk about it. Did you see the lines?
I did see the lines, and I saw the uproar of Dodger fans getting upset at other Dodger fans for reselling them. I've seen a lot. I feel like I've seen too much to where, I don't know. I might need to see somebody.
Well, the line started at what, like 11 or 10, right? I mean, the gates don't even open till like I'm not sure what, 4, something like that.
Right.
So they're ridiculous lines, man. And then my thing is, you're gonna see this guy for the next 10 years in Dodger blue. I know we're excited. He's
right. I think that's probably what it is.
I'm not. There's nothing against the player, the Shohei, but you're gonna get a chance to get these bobbleheads maybe again. Like, they always recycle bobbleheads, and you don't think they're gonna make a better one next year, or like, try to up the ante next year? Like, come on, you don't have to do that. You don't have to, I don't know. That's just me. Unless the whole 10 years that he's here, it's exactly like yesterday, then I'll eat my own words. But you're gonna get a chance. You're gonna get a chance to get one at some point.
Right. Maybe that is true. Maybe you do hate Ohtani, and I just didn't realize that. So now that you're putting like these things in my head, I'm starting.
I don't have any show hate in my body.
Yeah,
you're there's no such thing.
I think we might be onto something here. First of all, shout out to Tyler Coe, old ex guy of the pod. He traded with Joe Kelly. I don't know what he had to do. Probably some unspeakable things. But I don't know if you saw, he was getting dragged saying it was such a bad trade. I haven't talked to him about it yet, but that's really interesting. Especially what we're saying, what you were saying, how like, oh, there's going to be other bobbleheads, but people are saying this guy's so dumb and this and this and that. And I was like, oh shit, I'm not going to lie. He's getting cooked.
Well, I mean, it wasn't a gold one, right? It was a normal Shohei. Oh, it was a gold one?
Right.
Oh, okay. Either way, I think the gold one was really ugly. I honestly,
you thought about it, you're like, oh, is he dumb? Or I don't.
I thought about it, but then I realized how that bobblehead looked, and I'm not the only one. I was watching the news in the morning, and they're like, those bobbleheads look nothing like Shohei. Like, why didn't they make it more? And I was like, that's true. And then the gold one looks kind of scary looking a little bit. It's like, I don't know what the
What's cooler, a gold Shohei Ohtani bobblehead or Metal Mario from Super Smash Brothers?
Shohei.
Well, there
but I mean,
is.
Okay, so he got the glove, and if it was literally any other player, maybe we don't cook him. But it's Joe Kelly, dude. Like, it's.
Do you either love Joe Kelly or, I mean, honest, and I'll be honest with you. When I saw it, I was like, "Oh, that's so cool!" Like, yeah, I would rather have a player's glove than a bobblehead. But Dodger fans do not agree. Apparently,
you know what? At first, I didn't see the uproar, so I don't know. I saw the video, but I didn't really read through it or anything.
Right.
I thought what I thought was like, oh, great, now he's gonna endear himself with the fans, and he's gonna get another 2-year deal. But I guess not. I guess they're like, no, what a bad trade. But then at the same time, it's a major leaguer's glove, and
that's what I'm saying. Like, I would with his name on glove.
It. I mean, you can't beat that. You got one of one.
Yeah.
So It's not a horrible
And like
trade.
you said, you have another 9 years of Shohei bobbleheads. They're not going to only do Shohei bobblehead. I mean, maybe everyone's just excited because it's the first year,
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And then
We'll see.
unless your goal is to get that and immediately sell it, you
Right.
didn't make a bad trade because it's just going to be sitting in your, collecting dust somewhere.
True.
So I don't think it's a bad trade. I think he's being treated unfairly a little bit. I'd take the glove.
Collecting dust, dude. That's what we do.
Exactly. I just had to clean these off right now before we got on camera because you're collecting dust.
You can't have them dirty. So what is your feeling on resellers? Are you upset about
Yeah.
people reselling them?
I don't mind if you resell it. Like, let's say because they used to do a limit, right? I think there was like 4 per people or something like per person.
Oh, okay.
Now I don't think there's a limit. We saw that picture. I know the one you're alluding to on Twitter where a lady had like 30 of them, maybe more. It looked like a bunch. And I'm like, come on, like that's not what the essence of it is. Like everybody should get one. And you're over here just feeling, hoarding. And it's, I don't like that. If it was 4, I'm like, that's okay. That's within the limits. That's cool. Right. But you're getting like so many. You're overdoing it.
Right. Well, here's the thing. A couple things I have to say. And I hate the Giants right now, so I actually don't. At first, I was like, I can't believe I'm gonna, say the Dodgers have something over the Giants. But right now, fuck the Giants. I hate them, and they hurt my feelings.
Yes,
and they make me cry.
Love this side of you.
And so, but giveaways at Oracle are like 10, 20,000. So you have to get there early to get your giveaway. Like it's like a thing. Like I've only gotten a giveaway. Granted, I go up there and only go to a couple games like every year or whatever. So like I might be able to go to one giveaway. But if I really want the giveaway, you got to show up there early for sure, or else you're not going to get one.
Yeah. With
Dodger Stadium, their giveaways are like 40,000, where it's like, yeah, you're probably like I've never showed up to a giveaway day at Dodger Stadium and not gotten the giveaway. So
I think I don't know. To the ones that I've been to, I've been, early, but there was one where I got there like maybe the second inning. I had to get it somewhere else later, the bobblehead, but I didn't, that was my fault. It wasn't because they didn't.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. If you're late, it's kind of like, oh
yeah.
And people are kind of going out.
It doesn't matter here. Like, it doesn't matter if you get there early because people are just hoarding them. So it's kind of shitty.
I don't know. Yeah. But here's another thing too. The other thing that I was trying to say too is I don't think that they bought all those tickets. I think what it was too is they'll ask people like every single time I'm at a giveaway day, they're always asking me because I have Giant stuff on holding a Kike Hernandez bobblehead, and they're like, hey, I'll give you $20 for your bobblehead, or hey, I'll give you do you want your bobblehead? They're always trying to obviously probably take it first and then maybe give me $20.
But that's probably that's true, but that's not going to happen with Shohei. Like even you as a Giants fan, you know what you have in a Shohei bobblehead. Like the value of that. Right. You're not going to sell it for like $30 at the stadium.
I think that you are underselling the amount of casuals that just go to a baseball game to hang out. For like, like you're like, oh, I like the Dodgers, or even just people are just hanging out. Oh, you're going to a Dodger game? Yeah, I'll go. Why not? Like that happens all the time to where if they're like, hey, I'll give you $20 for your bobblehead. I'm like, okay, I don't really care about this thing that much anyways. And you're going to buy me a beer? Yeah, dude, I'll take that. But it's like, oh, you could sell it for 50 on eBay. I don't want to. There's 90% of people don't want to deal with eBay, don't know how to work it, are not going to sell it. They're just kind of like, you'll give me $20 right now, sold.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're probably right, but I've seen those crowds mostly on the weekends. I don't see those crowds taking pictures and just wanting to be at the games in the middle of the week. So I don't buy that part. But you're right, I do see it because I've been asked before, like people who are trying to like just regular dude, hey, you want to sell? I'm like, no, I don't want to sell it. Like, but they do ask everybody. I do get that side, but it is an investment too, because you're right. Even if they didn't buy all those tickets, those tickets were at least 100, and they had to pay a lot to get the majority of those bobbleheads. I think so.
Right. And as much as I would love to paint the Dodgers in a negative light and say they're being cheap,
but you can't because you love them.
Yeah, of course. People are like, this is ridiculous. The Dodgers would only give away 40,000. They should make 53,000 enough for everybody. And it's like, well, it's a sponsored event. I don't think that it's on the sponsor, I would imagine, isn't it? I mean, I don't know too much about the ins and outs of bobble giveaways, but I would imagine that's a Bank of America type, issue, right?
I do have one gripe with
See, look, Matt Cain, reassurance. You can't really tell on the webcam, but reassurance.
Yeah, but that's not all of them. Most of these Dodger ones don't have it.
That is all of them. All of them have something on it. Look.
No, Brandon not the Crawford Dodger ones.
AAA.
No, yeah, yours. But I'm saying all the Dodger ones that I have, they're just like this. They just have their name.
They're only sponsored by something.
No, I'm sure they are, but they just don't have the thing on here is what I'm saying. Not on the actual bobblehead.
You're really trying to I'm reading Don't Kill Myself books. All right, and you're trying to one-up me on sponsorships for bobbleheads right now?
Hey, I'm sorry that ours are cleaner, man. I'm sorry. The ones that do have the sponsors are the AAA ones. So maybe you're just a AAA organization. I don't know. I got my Will Smith one here from AAA, and he's got the sponsor. Hey. I got the Russell Martin up there. He's got the sponsor, but he's he's a minor one. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think it's more it would be more on the sponsor. You can't get mad at the Dodgers about it. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not mad at it either.
You're not mad at anybody?
No, I'm not mad at it.
Oh,
you got it. People, because
it's all just rainbows and butterflies with you over there, huh?
Everybody was mad at each other over everything, and I'm like, why are you so mad about what another person's doing? Like, if he wants to sit in the hot and just be miserable so he can get his bobblehead, let him do it. Who cares? Right. And if the other guy wants to spend all that much money to buy it, fine, whatever. It's within the rules, I guess.
I just wonder what time they ran out. I think that's also a thing too. Like, if people were showing up at like 6, 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock is game time. So you would imagine like 6:30 or 6 o'clock and they're not getting a bobblehead, then it's kind of like, dude, that sucks. But like, if they were getting, have you seen anything of what time they ran out?
I didn't see that, but I did see that somebody got there like at 6 and they still got one. So they must have ran out pretty close to first pitch, which means if you're there on time, you probably got one.
That's on you then.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Who knows?
But to answer your question, yes, okay. It was a fair trade, I think. Unless your end goal Unless your end goal was to sell that bobblehead,
right?
I think you're fine with that trade.
Okay, yeah, I would agree. So yeah, good job, Tyler.
But let's get on to the sad part of the show, man. Let's let's
get on to the sad part. Giants fans, if you are sad, if you think that, man, is this season over? The answer is yes.
One word.
And the front office agrees with you because they put on 3 players on waivers. They put on Tyro Estrada. Matzek is also on there too, but he's was a salary dump for Atlanta on that trade, so that wouldn't matter. But also Tyler Rogers. So I mean,
you know what your season is? I don't know if you've ever played any video games, but who hasn't played?
I just
GTA?
Gave you a Super Smash Brothers Metal Mario reference, okay?
I meant video games in this era,
Oh no, the answer's no.
But when you play GTA and you lose control of the car, you fall, you die. There's one word that comes out all the time, and you've seen the meme: wasted. And that's exactly what you guys did. And I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it.
All right, calm down over there, McDonald's. Yes, that's a perfect way, because it's not like we're losing towards something. Like, if you're losing and you're trying to get draft picks, or you're losing trying something new, that would make sense. We've been doing the same shit for the past 3 years. After 2021, it was, well, let's just try to keep on getting like reclamation projects and try to outsmart our way into the playoffs. Let's try to mid our way into the last playoff spot and just see what happens. But like, when you keep trying to do that shit every year and you don't pick a lane, it's like, that's like the definition of insanity. You're doing the same shit expecting a different result.
Yeah, you guys are like in limbo. You're not bad enough to tank, but you're not good enough to stay consistent, right? So
right.
It's probably really frustrating because you're like, oh, we're almost there, but we're not there, but we don't suck enough to like lose towards something. So what the hell do we do? They got to pick a lane. You're right, because I bet it's super frustrating.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because that's you could like going into next year, they need to pick a lane. If you want to be like the great pitching staff that you just need 2 or 3 runs to win baseball games, okay, re-sign Blake Snell, go after Corbin Burns, and then have the 2 young guys be 4 and 5 with maybe pick up someone that is another 3 or 4, and that can be your identity. If you want to be young and athletic, let Matos be in left field, put Ramos in right, and trade for a good, speedy second baseman, or something along those lines. I don't know. Maybe even just Pete Alonso, so you have some home runs. I don't know. Or if you want to just do big boppers, sign Soto and Alonso, and I don't know what else you do. That'd be way too much. But you get what I'm saying. You could try to go after something, but just try to do something consistent. Try to do something that makes sense. Like, you want to play into your ballpark? Yeah. Get Corbin Burns, bring back Blake Snell, and just then this offense is fine.
You can 2-3 runs. You can justify the offense at that point because you have such a great pitching staff, sure.
Right.
But you gotta choose something. Yeah, you can't stay where you are right now. You're gonna be back in the same place next year.
Right. I just don't want them to feed us the shit sandwich they're gonna feed us at the end of the year. Because the thing is when you're like 6-7 games out of out of a playoff spot, you're technically not mathematically eliminated until a week or two, till the season ends. Right. I mean, like, logically you're out now because you're probably 6.5. I haven't even looked in a while. 6.5 games back.
Let's see.
Yeah, look at it. Pull it up, please. We're probably 6.5 back, and we have 30 games to go. Huh?
7 games back.
Ooh, that last half game just set me off. With 7 games back with 30 games to go. Yeah, logically the season's over now, but
it makes no sense, does it? Like, it's crazy, but that half game makes it look like it's that much closer. Like, if you say 6.5, you're like, oh, okay. But you're like 7 games. What? Ooh, shit, we're done. We're cooked.
I felt like we were cooked at 5.5 when I saw it a couple days ago. So, I just feel like it's like, what I'm saying is, like, you're not mathematically eliminated till like a week till the season ends, even though you've been out for the last month. And so at the end of the year, when they do their press conference, they're going to try to feed us the shit sandwich of, we played meaningful games in September. We just were eliminated last week. The guys gave it a real fight. Like, if you try to give me that, it's just trying to feed you a shit sandwich where it's like, it's not that bad. There's some actual like kernels in there too, like corn kernels. If you just can stomach the shit, like, I just don't want to hear it.
I mean, that's exactly what they're going to tell you when you guys finish like 5 games out, and they're like, well, we didn't have Lee. He'll be back next year. We're going to be that much
exactly.
Better. We didn't have this person. We're going to be that. And that's exactly what they're going to tell. I mean, you see it from every team when they're, yeah. So we'll see. But I love,
don't feed me a shit sandwich.
I love that you're going through this, man. Love it. Love it.
Thank you. Just smiling through my pain. Should we talk about the weeks? Should we even go through the weeks? Yeah, might as well.
Let me go first with this.
Yeah, let's hear how Dodger Town is. All right.
Yeah. Let's hear it. They finished off a series win against the Rays. The last time they were about to face them the last time we talked, And they split so far with the Orioles, so they have a chance to win that series today. They haven't lost a series since the Philly series. So that's a couple weeks back. That's pretty good. They split the last one. They split with the Brewers, but they didn't lose that.
That's pretty
So
good.
they're,
It's funny to me. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, like, that's pretty good.
I-
Yeah, I know.
hey,
Right. Go ahead.
I know this is gonna feel like really, because you said we're spoiled, and sure that's fine, but it just feels like the Dodgers keep weathering a storm with like every injury they get. It's like, oh, we finally got Muncy back, but Glass
Right.
now is not doing too good now. Like now, or this other guy isn't doing too good, or it always seems like somebody's just about to come back the whole year. So hopefully they get healthy enough at the end of the year. But so far so good, man. Yeah, hopefully they win the series today. We got Bobby Miller going today, right here. Where is he? Right here. Got my little bobblehead of Bobby Miller. So hopefully they can wrap up a series win today, and then they head to Arizona.
Sponsored by Miller Lite, the bobblehead.
Yeah, it's Miller time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which means he's going to go 3 innings and get shelled.
wow.
Yeah, the Giants went 2-4 last week. They lost both series. The Mariner series, I mean, you the first game you're feeling good because they're up 5-1 and they give up a 5-1 lead. And the whole thing about getting mad at Bob Melvin for leaving Tyler Rogers in. Oh my gosh, I just realized earlier I said Tyler Rogers when I was supposed to say Taylor Rogers was on waivers, but whatever. Who cares,
Same dude,
right?
Same dude, different arm.
Same DNA. Yeah, so Tyler, when he left Tyler Rogers in, because he was giving up bloop hits, single after single after single.
Getting Babbitt to death.
Exactly. And it's like, they're mad at, why didn't you take him out earlier? And it's like, well, you got to believe that he's going to get out of it. He's just giving up singles. He's not getting rocked. He's a ground ball pitcher to where, he's a pitch away from getting a double play. You have a cushion. And it just kind of got out of hand. And it kind of is what it is. Tyler Rogers has been good for us all year, high leverage situations, and it just didn't happen. It's just frustrating. I mean, I guess another storyline is Camilo Doval is back. He's looking good. I know he got a little shaky in that Milwaukee series where he started walking guys, but got out of it like he always does. So Grant McCray was looking good.
What's worse or what's more infuriating? Getting killed by 1,000 paper cuts with little dunks here and there, or home runs?
I don't know. That's a good question. The Giants usually will walk a bunch and then give up home runs. So,
So they've mastered it. Like they've managed to combine both. They're like, let's do not one or the other. Let's put them together.
Give you some paper cuts, then punch you in the face and shoot you in the head. Like we're not going to make this quick and simple. Let's make you suffer, and then we'll end it.
Once I'm bleeding, really give it to me on the chin. All right.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the Giants week. I mean, the Brewers series is more of the same shit. So
I did say, I was like, watch the Mariners not being able to hit here in LA, and then they're just going to go off against you guys. And I guess that's what happened.
and which is weird because they really didn't go off. I mean, we're like the same team. I think they could have won all 3 of those games and they could have lost all 3 of those games. Milwaukee, half the time I felt that way, and then just they would turn into the Milwaukee Brewers and just dick slap the shit out of us, which they did the past 2 games. So I don't know. It definitely is. Mariners are definitely the Giants of the AL. So it honestly felt like 2 teams that were like right there with each other, but it just felt like the Brewers are in a different league. So, writing on the wall.
And the Astros are just inevitable, huh? I guess the Astros are just inevitable. Back in first place. So,
yep.
Thanks a lot, Mariners. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Jason Hayward. I'm killing it.
I have nothing to say to that right now. I'm actually not upset. I was saying, like, if he didn't hit that 3-run shot a couple of games earlier, nobody would be batting an eye. Nobody would really care.
Yeah, I just a nice veteran in the clubhouse for a playoff run is kind of scary. So he could help them in the playoff.
Sure, but I mean, as for the Dodgers, they have a bunch of veterans, man. They shouldn't need more leadership, or they shouldn't lack any leadership.
Yes, but it just also might help the Astros. So I'm just
I mean,
I don't want them to win either, but I would much rather the Astros win a World Series than the Dodgers. So
I'm not too worried about the Astros leadership. They have freaking Jose Altuve and other players. Like he's not gonna change. Like whatever.
Yeah, it's not like an issue in the clubhouse.
Yeah,
the situation that he's fixing.
If anything, he'll just get better batting because they'll give him the listening device and he can hear the trash can better. So
hell yeah.
Good for him.
Good times. Good weeks. At least we're staying on brand and just staying at 500. Because when the Giants are one game under 500, they're unstoppable. They're the 27 Yankees. When
that's
they're
the sweet spot, right?
Yeah, when they're a game or two over 500, then they're the Chicago White Sox, and they can't win for shit. So, we're just bound for 500.
You know what? Maybe it's around that time then. Our favorite jingle.
Let's hit it.
Jingle.
It's that time again. It's the start of the dud of the week. It's starting the dud of the
week. Good times. Almost as good as the Trolls 3 soundtrack. If you're not a parent, you don't know. But the Trolls 3 soundtrack is where it's at. Where are you at, studs and duds?
Let me give you my stud first because, we'll just end it sadly because I don't want you to be the only one sad. I'm just going to give it straight out to Ohtani, dude. Why does this guy... First of all, he's always going to have big moments. It just happens to be that way. But, he trained his dog for like 2-3 weeks to throw out the first pitch, which is hilarious. And then he actually did it, which is really cute. Then he comes up to the plate and he hits a home run. Like this guy's just, I hope he gets that many more moments in the playoffs and he comes through, but it just seems like he always has big moments. And just for that, man, he gets the stud of the week, man. That and for, what he did that was actually more impressive than the home run and training the dog. He got Dodger Stadium to be filled before first pitch. And so, which just proves that if the Dodgers really want to do it, they can get there before the first pitch. So yeah, there you go. Stud of the week.
Yeah. I mean, Mexican time is a real thing. I can't be anywhere on time unless it's a dire situation.
If you say 7:10, if you say 7:10 Mexican time, that's like 7:40. You got a half an hour. You got a cushion. So
yeah, if I'm told to show up at 7 o'clock and I show up at 7 o'clock, I feel like I'm going to be helping you finish setting up. So I won't be there at 7.
As Mexican, we're both Mexican. You're always 15 minutes away. No matter where you are, man. You're always 15 minutes away.
I'm down the street.
Hold on. I'm about to park. Hold on. Let me park.
Right. The Giants side, there is some stud. I do want to talk some Grant McCray. Gold Glove defense, you can't be you got to be really excited for that. But this last week he's been very good. Hit over 300, over a 1 OPS, hit a couple of pretty big bombs, big situations, and pretty long too. So I did want to give a little shout out to Heliot Ramos, who's still hot as shit with the over 1 OPS, hit a couple bombs as well, and is batting 300 on the dot. So, but I mean, Grant McCray with that defense in center field, wanted to give it to him one little, because defense just makes me.
You gotta be happy about something. You got to see the silver lining in something.
Yeah, that Grant McCray might be a dude.
All right. Well, since you're happy, let me give you my dud, and this is a really painful one because I like this dude. I'm one of his biggest fans, but Will Smith, man, has been struggling. To say struggling is like putting it lightly. He has been non-existent in the offense for the last couple, I don't know, the last month, maybe more before that. He's 3 for his last 21, and if you go further than that, it just gets uglier and uglier. So I don't know if he's hurt. There's these guys get hit a lot. Sometimes you don't even know it. I mean, Austin Barnes was playing a game with a broken toe, which was supposedly all bloody and nasty, and then he had to go on the IL. So you just never know what catchers are dealing with. So you give him a little more slack, but at the same time, I mean, it's like he's not even there. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. So hopefully he turns it around before playoff time. But for now, it's a little worrisome.
Yeah, it's because he's a buster. Everyone named Will Smith sucks. So,
Because he doesn't cuss, man. Everybody knows that.
I got to give my dud to Tyler Fitzgerald. And the reason.
Wait. Just 1 week ago, you told me he was going to win Rookie of the Year. You even gave me those fancy graphs, and you trapped me, and you made me pick him over Jackson Merrill. And now you're going to give him the dud?
I said he was going to be second.
Second to what? Second to last place?
For second place of Rookie of the Year. So he's just pick it back up. That's all. Just had a bad week. We're going to be back. It's going to be great. He's going to hit like 55 more home runs before the end of the year. He's going to hit like three a game. It'll be fine.
Have you kept up with like the rookies at all? Have you changed your mind at all?
The thing is I do have Skeens, then Merrill, and I'd probably even do Jackson Churio over him at the moment. I just said he had to keep it up to be in that conversation, which at the moment he's not keeping it up. So
no, yeah. But I'm saying like with the other rookies, have you changed your mind? Like you still have Skeens number one?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, unless I missed something crazy, but yeah, I would say yeah.
I don't know, man. I think Merrill's making a tough case with all these like late inning heroics.
100%.
So I wouldn't surprise me if he wins it. I know Skeens is the darling, because rightly so. He's super talented. Once in a while generation kind of pitcher stuff, but I don't know. I late inning heroics make it into the playoffs might sway the Riders, and he plays every day, so we'll see.
True. Yeah, I wouldn't put my house on it for sure, but I would probably still bet because I'm also cheap too, so I'm not going to bet like a crazy amount of money. So if I put $20 on I put $20 on Paul Skeens. So we'll see.
It doesn't help that Paul Skeens' team is like consistently letting him down every time he comes out of the game. So
right.
That kind of sucks too. But yeah, all right.
It'll be fine. It's gonna be a good time. So
it'll be a good time.
Yeah, I think it's I think you had some heat for me, didn't you?
Yes. Before we get out of here, before we end this episode, I wanted to ask you in today's question of the day. I've heard this discourse. I've read a little bit on it online. You have two great players right now in the sport, both in the NL, AL, doing amazing things. You got Shohei going for the first ever 50-50 season, and you got Judge just being one of the greatest offensive seasons ever. Do you think one is more impressive than the other? And if so, which one?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I haven't paid a really close attention to Judge's season until you brought this up to me, and I looked at it. I'm going to show it right now. It looks like Judge is beating him in every category, and he's playing defense, except for stolen bases, which every Dodger fan ever needs to shut their mouth right now, because all last year I heard stolen bases don't mean it, talk about Ronald Acuna, but also the fact that, he plays defense and Shohei does not. So.
But, I mean, so you also have a guy that's doing something that's never been done before, right?
Just because of stolen bases, though. That's the only...
Well, sure. But, I mean, I get that they're definitely overvalued in this day and age, the stolen bases. Especially, like, you can only look over twice. The bags are bigger. I understand all that, but it's not like Judge is doing it, if it was that easy either. And then at the same time, you also got to remember, there's a guy that's still rehabbing from Tommy John. Like half of his skill set was taken away and he's still putting up enough numbers to be like, I'm having a great season. You know what I mean? Like if you took something from Judge's game and then be like, okay, now go put out a great season. Would that be possible? I don't know, maybe, but you got to take that into account too, right? He's still putting up these numbers just on one side of the ball, so it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, it is for sure impressive. I'm not trying to take away from that, but what I am saying is Judge is having a better season for sure.
But what is the impress? I'm just playing devil's advocate because
Right.
I'm a Dodger fan. But what is the impressive part of Ohtani? What is he? I mean, Ohtani Judge. What is he doing that we haven't seen? Because he's going after his own record of home runs. So what is he doing that we haven't seen that's so impressive? That would be my argument against it. Because obviously being a homer, it's like, well, he's doing something nobody's ever done, and so it's going to be really cool. But you're right; he's also leading every major category. So it's also hard to argue against that fact versus Judge.
But also, I mean, yes, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, Judge is doing better. The only thing he has on him is stolen bases. So this baseball does this thing where it's like, it's history if this and this and that, like it's the first time that this position player that plays this position hits this many home runs and this and that. I feel like baseball's the only sport that does that. Like, yeah, he would be the first person ever to do 45-45 if he does it, which it would be something catastrophic would have to happen for him not to accomplish that. But at the same time, Aaron Judge is at 50 home runs, so it's better than him, but he just doesn't steal bases. So it's like, and to talk about taking away his game, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, that means he's only DH. Is it crazy?
So basically, this year is the only year that Judge will look that much. The gap will look that big against Ohtani because every other year that he pitches, there's no conversation then.
Yeah, I would say so. That was my argument when they were in the same league. And it was who should win the MVP. I was like, well, Ohtani. It's the numbers are extremely similar except for Judge's home runs. And what's it called? Ohtani's starting pitching is way more valuable than Judge's defense. So
And that's
at the moment,
that would just be
so
my argument.
on this side of the fence, it would be like, okay, well, Judge is playing defense. Shohei Ohtani could be in double doubles between at bats.
True. I mean, and that would just be how impressive that is. That the fact that he doesn't have that other side of his game, and he's still making it that close to where people are trying to compare.
Yes. I thought that you were saying that he was doing that. I'd be like, well, I'm not saying that it's easy to be sitting down and just hitting and being cold, but at the same time, I don't think we can congratulate that either because you're sitting down.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get it. I understand the argument that, like, hey, he's also playing defense and has way better numbers everywhere else. So I get that. It's just, to me, it's impressive that he's even making it this close while having one side of his game not even be there this year.
I'll agree with you. But yeah, I mean, I feel like we're going to always talk about Shohei and
we have
and Aaron
10 more
Judge.
years of this, man. If this podcast lasts 10 more years, 10 more years of Ohtani talk.
Yeah, motherfucker, we're going 30 more years, dude. Come on now. What's it called? Yeah, and it would have been so much better if Aaron Judge just would have signed with the effing Giants and we could, watch them go head to head and all that kind of stuff. But turns out,
that would have been crazy, dude. You guys would have been definitely closer to the wild card, or maybe even have it. Who knows? But then that battle, rivals, and they're doing great. Oh man, that's so juicy. Damn you, Farhan.
What could have been, right?
Right.
And there's a multiverse where that happened, and
we'll always have arson
in that multiverse where we got millions of views. We're the biggest thing in the world. We're throwing out the first pitch, not Shohei Ohtani's dog. All right. I trained my dog to not pee in my house, so there's that. Take that, Shohei Ohtani.
Your dog can walk with a ball to the plate. My dog doesn't pee in the house. Who's got the better
What's
dog?
more valuable? Put a war on that, huh?
Yeah. I
well,
guess.
To talk about next week, Giants are playing Miami, and then they are playing Arizona. at this point. I'm not sure. I just don't know what you could take away from this. It's just like, get the young guys at bats. Let's see what we could do from here. Hopefully no one else gets hurt. Jordan Hicks, Robbie Ray on the IL. Yeah, I don't know if we mentioned it. I think you started to mention it, but then we were talking about something else. But I don't know. Landon Roop, give him some starts. Let Tristan Beck have some starts when he's able to get healthy and come back. Depression, who knows? I mean, sweep the Diamondbacks, and that would be cool. I mean, you're not back in it, but I guess you
I
could
would
have a
love
good
it.
week.
I would love it if you guys sweep the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, let's do it then.
As far as the Dodgers, they have one more game with the Orioles. We already talked about that. They can hopefully they win the series, and then they have a really big series with the D-backs. So a 4-game series. So that should be good. If they split, it'll be the same as when they went in. Same amount of same lead. But there is some exciting news. Yamamoto had his first rehab. He went 2 innings. I think he did give up a home run, but he looked pretty good. And Gratterall had a bullpen. No problems. He might go on a rehab pretty soon. So they do have some reinforcements hopefully coming for that pitching. And yeah, we'll see how it goes next week. We'll be back here again.
We're back here again, hopefully less lagging. Thank you for everyone for putting up with it. We're gonna figure some things out. Make sure to subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting platform as well as YouTube. Follow us on socials: Instagram Benches Cleared Podcast, Twitter Benches Cleared P, and TikTok Benches Cleared. We'll be hanging out, and worst comes to worst, we'll see you next week, baby.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.